Hi everybody, I'm Tuesday Moriarty and I'm here because I'm part of the Texture This hop. So there's a bunch of us that are going and we're having a video hop, and so underneath the video you will see in the drop down box you'll see other members that are in it. So when you're done seeing my video, you go and visit their video and then they'll push you to the next person and see their video. And all our videos are going to be about texture, how to add texture to the things that you're doing for junk journaling. So today, I'm going to show how to do this tag here. I'm hoping you can see that there's texture. Let me stand up and see if you can see the texture here. This is not, ooh, I'm shaking all over the place. Sorry, guys. This is, where the gold is raised. It's embossed. And I don't know if you can see it at all. I know you can see gold. I don't know if you can see it's embossed. So, this is what we're going to do. So the way we started out is I have a tag here. It's the back of a box. And then you go and you get some texture paste. There's all different kinds. There's all different brands. Liquitex is one that you can get that's good. This time I'm going to use this golden coarse fiber one. It raises up higher than the Liquitex does. And this particular stencil is a pretty thick stencil, because a lot of stencils that are great for doing inks and that are not so great for trying to get the texture that you want. I'm trying to pull out one of my stencils that's flatter, so you can see, like a stencil like this doesn't raise up as high. So we'll go and we'll start with doing the texture. You can open it. Now, I want this to be kind of, because I know I'm going to cut my corners. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tape it down the tag so it doesn't move around on me while I'm trying to think if I'm too high up there. Okay, here we go. I'm putting this down. I got to speak English. Putting this down, taping it so it doesn't move around when we go and we lift the stencil up. I got my texture paste here. I got this implement to spread it. So I'm going to hold this still, and I'm just going to spread the modeling paste through. Sorry, I'm concentrating here. Okay, so I'm scraping along the top, trying to get all the places that I want filled. A little bit more there. That's looking pretty good. So, that looks pretty good. All right, so we're going to take the stencil off. When you take them off, you don't pull straight up. You kind of do it on an angle, so it doesn't goop up as much, and you have less chance of messing up the stencil, messing up the paste that you put down. Over here, I'll put my stencil in a little bin with water. I have a lot of extra modeling paste here that I cannot put back into there, so I'm just gonna put it in here. That way I'm not wasting so much. Okay, ooh, hit you again. I'm doing terrible. I don't know if I've ever hit it before. Okay, so we'll take these up. And then you gotta let this dry all the way. So what we're gonna do like on the cooking shows, where they go and mix up the cake, they put it in the pan to cook it, and then they go and put it in the oven, right? I don't know if you can see that that's raised up, that there's texture. I'm just trying to move it around all different ways. I don't know if you can see it if it's up high. Anyway, I'm gonna go put this in the oven, not really, but I'm gonna do it like they do on the baking shows. And then all of a sudden, voila, it's done cooking, because they reached into the other oven and picked out one they had cooked. So this is what we did here. So now this is one that's dry. I put the paste better on the one I just did than I did here. If you look, there's ridges, but it'll be fine. So next what you do is you pick your napkin. I'm picking this one, which to me is not a very pretty napkin, but miracles happen. So I'm just gonna cut some extra off to make it easier. All right, and which way do we want it to go? Probably that way, so we'll take this one away. Then I get my handy dandy tape that I learned how to do this from Gail Augustinelli, who learned how to do it from Rachel at Roxy Creations. So you go, you take the paper off. Some napkins have 1, 2, 3 layers. The really expensive ones have 3 layers. This particular napkin only has 1 because it was more of a cheapy napkin. So we're gonna be putting this on. I'm trying to cut a little extra off because I don't want to let a lot hanging off, because when I'm putting this on, I want to kind of lay it like this and put it on a little at a time this way so that I don't get air bubbles in it, because this is raised up. If you have just a flat tag and you put it on, you're not really worried about air bubbles that much. But because this is raised up and we're gonna want the napkin to go down into all these crevices, you're more worried about that. So I'm gonna cut some of this extra off here so that I know where I'm placing it, and it will be easier for me to lay down. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna decoupage this napkin on. Getting my brush here, getting all the water off. I got my Mod Podge. This is straight Mod Podge. I haven't watered it down. I just put it in this jar because it was easier for me to deal with it, because it comes from a bigger jar. So we'll go, and we're gonna wet this whole thing down. And we want to get the Mod Podge all the way in all the cracks. We want it to be in there because we want the napkin to go down and stick in the cracks. And if we don't have the Mod Podge down in there, it's going to get an air pocket because it's not going to stick in that particular place. Not well anyway. So usually when I do Mod Podge, I have this clear mat that I do it on, but I realize that it reflects in the camera, so I'm doing it here. Okay, so we have that on there. Then we go and figure we want this to come up like that. So I'm gonna lay this down starting here. Okay, you see I got it at the bottom there, and I'm not putting the whole napkin down, I'm holding it up. And I am really gonna get this really wet with Mod Podge because I want this napkin to soften up enough to go down into the creases. So I'm just slapping this on. I'm still not laying the whole thing down. And I'm trying to not get other wrinkles. You know, I want it to go down into the crevices, but I don't want a bunch of other wrinkles in the other places, so I'm trying not to do that. So here we go. And I have found that when you do Mod Podge, there might be a wrinkle there, when you do Mod Podge, when it's almost all the way dry, you can like kind of press it down with your finger or with a or the bone folder thing, and get it in crevices more and get wrinkles out. You can press them in. Like I have a wrinkle here. I'll try to work that down. Oh, I shouldn't have done though. I kind of went through it, but that's okay because this will go in the oven too and miracle will happen. Okay, so you do this, you make sure, I think you can see the outline of where the embossing is sticking up in the napkin, right? So, we're done with this. Get this out of here. So, then you have to let this dry. So, we're gonna do the miracle oven thing again. Get that out of here, get this cleaned up. Okay, so voila, it's dry. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. So then you have it. That's kind of dried on the back there. You have it here, and the napkin's pushed down into the crevices. This is raised. I'm hoping you can see this. I don't know if this helps or not, because if I get up, I'm going to shake the camera. So we're going to pretend that you can see this. And you cut off the extra napkin that's there. Didn't do that very well. Okay, so then you have this like this. The next step would be you get your paint. I used gold acrylic paint. You can use a different kind of paint if you want. It doesn't need to be an acrylic. It can be anything that works for you. It could even be oil paint if you wanted it to be, because oil will stick to acrylic. But the acrylic dries so much faster. What I'm looking for is something to put the paint on, because I didn't bring a piece of cardboard. Here we go. Sorry with the arm. Okay, so you just put a little out, because it'll dry up fast, so you don't want tons out there. Right? Ah! Okay. Get your brush. You need to put glasses on because I can't see that close. Did I hit the camera again? Sorry. Okay, so then you would just go, start at the top, then you would go and just paint all this raised area. Now, I end up putting like 3 coats on altogether. At first, I put 2 on. I'll go through and I'll paint this down on all the raised areas, on all these leaves. And then I'll go back and back up to this top and start again. And the second coat goes so much faster because you've laid down exactly where the paint has to go without going over the edges. So you don't have to be so careful. So you do this, right, down the whole card. It's hard for me to do because I can't get my head over it to see it. But you know what I'm saying. So you paint the whole card. And we're gonna cook again. So the whole card's painted. Voila. It's painted, it's dry. I've put 2 coats of the gold on it. And this is what we got right now. Now the next thing to do, you have several options. You can go and use one of the Tim Holtz distress inks. You could do a walnut, so it's really dark. You could do the vintage photo. I think what I'm gonna try is, I think I'm gonna try some dark brown acrylic paint. And let's see what happens, because I don't remember what I did with the other card, because I did it a long time ago. So right now I'm kind of faking it. And we're going to see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little water on this rag, hitting the camera again because I have you so close. Sorry. And just trying to keep it off of this gold as much as I can, but it's not gonna, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. We'll wipe it off afterwards. So I'm trying to get down into the crevices with this. And we'll wipe it off the gold after. Trying to get all that flat area in the bottom. I guess you could use like a brown shoe polish if you wanted to too. I mean, there's lots of options of what you could use to get the background darker. Okay, so I'm going to go over it and clean up the gold. You could put more brown on it than this, you know, and put it darker in certain places, and I'm just trying to show you how to do it so that you can do it on your own and you get to experiment with how dark. But you're seeing how I'm wiping off the gold. So this process takes a little work. It's not a, you know, slapdash kind of thing. It's a labor of love. So you go through and you would clean up all the gold and then paint it again. So that would go up. Oh, hold on, let me just get this cleaned up a little bit here. I had my wipes here and then I moved them and forgot to put them back. So this is what we get right now to work with. Okay. So then you end up with the original tags that I showed you, which I put in a safe place on my table that I can't find them. So you end up with something like this. You started out like that. You would go through, you would put more of the brown in, you work it in, and then you clean it off, and it ends up like this. And then you go around, because I'm not going to take the time right now to do all that. Then what you would do, you would put your what did I do? I backed this with paper pad paper from the store, and then I would put like some tea dye on top of it, tea or coffee dye or whatever, so that it became writing space. There we go. Got me some Oohoo. Got my little book to go in right on. I mean, to put the glue on. Get this on here. If I wanted to, I could have put the vintage photo or the walnut around the outside, I'm going to take some walnut here. So if you had your tag like this, you would cut your corners, right? After you got it all cleaned up, you cut your corners, you put your backing on it, you punch a hole in it, and then you'd go through and do your outsides if you wanted to. Get it aged looking a little bit. Okay. Then the next step would be to get some, where did I put it? I put that in a safe place too. It's too hard, it's too hard. I had some sorry silk here that I can't find now. There it is. Okay. Get you some sorry silk. It's probably a little long, and we'll figure it out. Okay, and that's pretty much how you do it. So this particular tag is kind of a fussy tag, but I think it's worth it because I think what you end up with is pretty nice, you know? I think it's impressive looking what you end up with, so I think it's worth it. So give it a try. And go and look at the other people that are participating in this hop. Go on down the list, check everybody out. Everybody's got something different to show texture. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked this video, please go click the like button, follow me, and subscribe, and click the, the bell, so you'll get notified when I have more videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.